I've got the Mini here. I've got Call of Duty loaded up right now. As you can see, I have it set to 20 watts on the APU, which is using a total of about 32 watts total. I just have a adapter plugged in to have my keyboard and mouse plugged in. I would play with it in hand, but I wanted to make sure that while I was playing, I wasn't cutting you guys off from the video feed. So I just have a mouse and keyboard plugged in, just so I can show you. This game, when I was playing it at 15 watts, I was getting about 40 to 50 frames per second. And again, I'm using the 7640U, the low tier version of the Mini. So perhaps on the 7840U, you might get 8 more frames per second or 10 more frames per second. And that maybe also will improve with drivers. I don't know. But this is what I'm currently at right now. You can hear the fan. I do have the fan curve on right now from Motion Assistant, I believe it's called. Oh, maybe I don't have the fan curve on actually. Oh, see, it's already running. Yeah, so this is how it is with the fan curve on. Let's see if I can open it and show it. So currently it's at 75.9 degrees Celsius, which is still within the range of, so this is, I guess, 60% of the fan RPMs. It's at 5,300 RPMs right now. So I'm not sure if it gets louder once it hits 80 degrees Celsius, if it goes up to 80%. This is basically the loudest that I've been hearing it, but I haven't been playing at 20 watts. I've been playing at 15 watts. So I just changed it to 20 watts just to max out what the stock TDP is, and just to see for the video basically purposes. I've been playing at 15 watts just fine. And as far as the warmth of the gamepad, so like if I hold my fingers on the gamepad area, I could definitely feel the warmth. It's not like, obviously, well, I guess it's a personal preference thing. It's not something that's going to be burning my skin, but it's just basically like if you've ever held your cell phone and been like scrolling on your cell phone while it's charging, and you have the back of your phone in your hand and you don't have a case on it, and you can feel how warm it gets like while it's charging. That's basically what this feels like. It's not something that's going to be something where I'm going to be hurting my hand or something, but it is something where it's warm to the touch. So I guess perhaps that is a personal preference thing. As far as the touchpad, it just feels the same. I haven't used the touchpad at all myself when I'm holding it in hand to reach over with it. I just haven't been using it at all. I usually would just, whatever I need to touch on the touchscreen, I'll just touch it while I'll one-hand it and grab whatever I need to grab on the touchscreen. I haven't used the touchpad at all. I know a lot of people use it though, but just for I don't use it. So I'm just gonna get into a game real quick and we'll see. I don't think, it seems like even just being in the menu, I mean, the GPU is already maxed out 100%. So being in a game, it's not like it can max out any more than it already is 100%. But you'll be able to see the FPS that you're getting, which, like I said, at 15 watts, I was getting 40. It was 50, but it would drop down to 40, 43. But about 50 FPS, but it would drop down to 40. Running around the map and stuff. I guess maybe also depending on the map. I haven't played that many matches, so, but you can hear the fan. Again, it's at 75. This is 60% fan speed, so I can hear it in the background, but I don't need to update anything. I can hear it in the background, and I have the, as far as the TDP goes, we're getting about 32 watts. I'm not plugged in right now, but I have the screen set to 80% brightness and the volume is set to, I guess, 51. I'll put it at 50, which actually the volume in game went away. Maybe because I plugged in my, hold on, let me change the audio must be going through the USB-C right now. So let me, I believe I changed it now. Oh, there we go. Okay, now the audio is coming back through the Win Mini speakers. So when I plugged in the adapter, the hub, the audio automatically started going through here. That's why the audio was off. So right now it's at 32 watts of total usage, and this is at I have the APU set to 20 watts. So it kind of goes all over the place, but I have it set to 20. I'm imagining it's just maxed out at 20 playing this. So again, 50, it's getting 60 watts right now, FPS right now, but I'm not moving around. Once I start moving, it'll drop. Oh, I'm actually, and I don't have FSR or any kind of upscaling. I just have it set to 1080p. I have all the graphic settings at the lowest setting, and everything off and everything low, as low as I could put it, basically. So I am getting, I can even though it says I'm getting 60 FPS, you see like right there, it's definitely dropping frames. You know, I can notice it in the movement of the game. But maybe this isn't refreshing fast enough. Like maybe it's only refreshing once a second to actually get those little frame dips. But like even right there, and I mean my Wi-Fi is fast enough that it's not my Wi-Fi. It's definitely the performance of the APU. See like right there. Well, that maybe that could be Wi-Fi. Again, sorry if I'm not getting you. I'm trying to keep the game within the camera so you can pay it. And I tried to make the on-screen display. I tried to make the on-screen display big enough so that it could be visible. Since I'm not doing any kind of I'm just trying to make these videos as easy for me to upload as possible without doing any editing or anything. So I'm just literally recording them on my camera, no editing, and just trying to get you guys some footage of the device. And then now that it's running at 76 degrees, and I also put the drive temperature up here because some people were complaining that they were worried about if the SSD was going to be getting hot, which obviously playing a game, it's not reading and writing so much, so maybe I should do something where it's constantly reading and writing and then check the drive temperature. But it came with the Western Digital. I have the 512 gigabyte SSD that it came with. So, I mean, if you were going to play seriously, then maybe you'd want to use the eGPU and get more frames, because it does. I'm not sure if it's the internet or, I mean, my Wi-Fi is not that bad, but I think it's just the APU. I can just feel it every once in a while just cutting out, basically. Ah. But I'd say, and I let it idle in the menu, the main menu, for about 20 minutes before I started playing. So it was already, you know, basically it warmed up as hot as it was going to get before I started playing. But I think this is probably as hot as it's going to get, like if you were just playing for a while. And it seems to be staying under 80 degrees Celsius. And that is keeping it at about 60% fan noise. So like right now, I mean, since I mentioned it and I brought it to my attention, I can notice the fan. But while I'm playing, and maybe because I'm also talking, so maybe my voice is going over it, I don't notice the fan noise so much. Well, I don't notice it at all until I bring it up for you guys for the video. But me playing myself, I'm not noticing the fan. And also, normally I'd be playing with headphones in, so then I would notice it even less. But maybe if you were on a plane or you were in bed next to somebody and you were playing in hand, they might be noticing the fan. If you're playing with headphones on and you know you were hearing the game music, but they were just hearing the device, I'm sure they would probably be hearing the fan. But I mean, maybe I don't think the tonality of it is so bad, so maybe they would just think it was white noise, but they would definitely be hearing it, so that would be a personal preference thing if it bothered them or not. But yeah, I just wanted to get you guys a little quick gaming. Let me touch the touchpads again. So the back of the device, it doesn't feel hot at all. Obviously, I'm having my hand over the fan, but like touching the, I mean, I'm putting pressure on my fingers on the gamepad, and it's definitely, I mean, it's just warm. It's not even like toasty. It's not hot to where I'm gonna burn myself. If you actually have your fingers on the button, so the D-pad, because it's because there's no like empty space in the center, if you just have your fingers on the D-pad, like I don't necessarily feel the warmth on this side because the plastic is maybe insulating even an extra layer of insulation. As far as the joysticks go, I don't. If you're just using the joysticks and the triggers, I maybe feel some warmth because my fingers are, my middle finger and ring finger are basically right over the fan. But if you're just using the joystick, you don't feel any warmth on the joysticks at all. I don't feel any warmth on the side here. I don't feel any warmth on the side. So the warmth is all just basically in this square area right here. I don't use the touchpad myself, so it's not a factor for me. But on the left side, because you have no extra space in the middle here, if you're laying your finger on here, you don't really feel the warmth on this side because there is that space in the middle. If you have your fingers right here, basically on the pad of my thumb, which is resting right in here, I can feel the warmth. So then that's just a matter of, it's not a warmth that for me it's fine. I mean, I keep in mind the form factor that we're dealing with. I mean, this thing is basically, it's like having a 3DS XL a little bit bigger in your pocket, and you're talking about, you know, playing the new Call of Duty on it or playing new games on it. So for me, I kind of keep it in perspective of the form factor that we're dealing with, and to expect this not to get warm, maybe for me it's a bit unrealistic. But even with that in mind, even without keeping the form factor in mind, it doesn't get hot for me. Basically, I can feel it on my right thumb right now. My left thumb, I can feel it actually down here where my thumb is resting against it. But on my right thumb, I can feel that spot, like I said, on the pad of my thumb right here that's touching the center. I can feel the warmth of the device. But I mean, I'm holding my finger on it. I can hold my finger on this all day. I could play for probably 3 hours, and I think my finger maybe gets sweaty. But I mean, I'll get sweaty if I'm back in the day playing Xbox, holding an Xbox controller. So I don't know. It seems fine for me. The overlay, I tried to get all the stats that I thought people would want to see on the overlay. I think the battery was at 98% when I started this. I don't know how long this video has been, maybe 10, 12 minutes. But we went from 98% to 81%. But again, we're at 20 watts and we're using, right now it's at 33.5 watts of total system power. And I have the backlight at 80%. The backlight on the keyboard is off. I do have some peripherals plugged in, but this is not on power, so this is just how it runs. So at that rate, you maybe get an hour and 20 minutes or something playing on battery at 20 watts. I'm not sure. I don't want to do the math. I don't want to do that math in my head like that, but not bad for me.